when Walmart announced that it was going to start its own high-speed electric vehicle DC fast charging network here in the US, it sent shockwaves across the industry. After all, Walmart is the largest retailer in the world and operates more than 5,200 Walmart and Sam's Club locations here in the US. It has such a presence that over 90% of Americans live within 10 miles of a Walmart. So their reach is extraordinary. And they claim that they're going to install tens of thousands of high-speed DC fast chargers. They started installing them last year, actually less than a year into their installation at their locations now. And they have 31 locations already open. The interesting thing is 30 of them are south of the 37th parallel here in the US. Most of them are in two states, Texas and Arizona. But they just opened up the only location that is north of the 37th parallel. And about 60% of the country, landmass size, is north of the 37th parallel. So it's interesting that all of their locations started in the south. And this one location that they just opened a couple days ago happens to be close to my house here in New Jersey. Now I have a long road trip today. I'm going to be heading down to Maryland to do a recharge rescue episode for State of Charge. And I can't make it on one charge. So I have the perfect opportunity to check out the northernmost location of the Walmart charging network in the US. All right, so I'm here at the Freehold Walmart Supercenter, and it is true, Walmart is coming north with EV charging. I've been waiting for this moment. I've actually been very excited about the Walmart network in general. And I know some people have posted comments in my videos saying that, Tom, that's the last place I want to charge. And that's okay, because we need charging in all different types of locations. I don't particularly see many travelers that are going very long distance, perhaps seeking out Walmart locations to charge. I think they'd be a lot more interested in maybe the locations that Iona and Electrify America and EVgo are selecting, kind of at convenience stores along major corridors where they can just plug in, walk right in the store, use the restroom, grab a bite to eat a coffee, and then head out. And Tesla Superchargers, that seems to be one of the main places that they install charging. But we need charging for everybody, not just long distance travelers. And what really excites me about the Walmart network is how accessible Walmart locations are. Currently, we're kind of transitioning between the early adopters and the early majority of electric vehicle buyers. And in order for the early majority to really embrace electric vehicles, they need to be accessible for everybody, not just people that have charging in their garage and just use public infrastructure when they're on a long journey. We need public infrastructure, high-speed, reliable public infrastructure for people that live in apartments and multifamily dwellings that can't charge at home. And Walmart really provides that. First of all, many people are already going to a Walmart once a week to do food and other type of shopping. So this is a great opportunity to just plug in, charge up while you're shopping, not necessarily when you're on that long road trip. So that's why I really think Walmart is such a wild card in the electric vehicle charging space, because they can do something that very few other networks can do. They have the locations, they have the money. That's not a problem. And now we're starting to see them really ramp up with these locations. You know, as I mentioned, they only have about 31 locations open as of today. They doubled the network in the last 2 months, kind of like what we saw Iona do a year ago, where they were really slow going in the beginning, but once the ball started rolling, the stations just started to open up. And now Iona's every week announcing 4 or 5 new sites that are open. They're a little bit ahead of Walmart, maybe about a year ahead of Walmart, but I do expect to see the sites open up at a much faster pace now, and that's one of the things I'm going to talk to Adam Happel about, the general manager of Walmart Charging, which I'll be speaking with very soon. If you recall, last year I was the first electric vehicle journalist to actually, and I still to this day think I'm the only one, to get an interview with Adam to talk about Walmart's EV charging strategy. And it is a shift in strategy because if you remember, Walmart had been hosting locations for other networks for many years now. And that all changed, no more. They're not letting other networks come and put chargers on their property. It's all the Walmart charging network.
Today's video is sponsored by evchargingstations.com. If you drive an electric vehicle or you're planning to, this site is packed with comprehensive charger reviews, detailed DC fast charging graphs, and the latest news from all of the fast charging networks. You'll find real-world testing, easy to understand comparison, and deep dives into how different electric vehicles actually charge. Before you buy an EV charger or plan your next road trip, make sure to bookmark evchargingstations.com and make smarter charging decisions.
What's going to be really interesting to see is what happens when these other networks' leases expire. Well, I personally don't think it's very interesting. I think that they're not going to renew the lease and Walmart's going to say, okay, it was nice having you on our property for 10 years. We'll take over from here. Now, I did ask Walmart about that, but they did the politically correct thing and said, well, we value our partners and we don't want to comment about possible future relationships with them. So, but it seems pretty clear to me that they're not going to allow other networks to continue to operate on their properties once their leases expire. We'll see how that works out, but I don't know why they would, now that they're going full steam into building out the Walmart EV charging network. But one of the things I noticed was really interesting as I was coming down here, I was looking at the Walmart app that locates their chargers, and they still have on the Walmart app all of the third-party charging locations, not just their locations. It does say third-party, but those locations you don't get to see the power output of the chargers. Like on this Freehold location, it showed that the chargers were 400 kilowatt chargers, which these are the Alpatronic HYC 400 kilowatt chargers. And it also shows how many of the stalls are available on the Walmart network. It doesn't show that on the third-party networks. As you can see, it said 8 of 8 chargers available. I've actually been monitoring that since this site opened up. The site only opened up 2 days ago, and I've checked the app multiple times a day. I have never seen a single person using it. It's always been 8 of 8 available. So I may be the first person to use this site. Well, it's only been open a couple of days, so that's no big accomplishment, but I may be the first vehicle to actually plug in. Well, that's what we'll do next. Let's plug in and see how it works. Now, one of the things about the Walmart network that I don't like is you have to use their app. So let me go into my app and open it up. Okay, now the app is geolocation. So it knows that I'm here at Freehold. So right at the top of the screen, it says EV charging at Walmart. Now I'm going to click on that. It says, hey, Tom, let's get started. Plug in your vehicle, then scan the QR code on the charging screen. So that's what I'm going to do. Now you may have noticed all of the chargers here have a CCS connector and a NACS connector. I'm actually in the wrong parking stall. I probably should have been in this stall for the CCS connector, but nobody's here, and I doubt if anybody's coming while I'm here. And in any event, these HYC 400s have fantastic cable management system. That NACS connector could absolutely reach over here and charge a vehicle that came in on this side. These overhead cable management systems work really well, and they extend far out, and they're very robust and strong, much better than some of the cable managements that we've seen on some of the other DC fast chargers on other networks where the cable breaks and the charging cable's laying on the ground. I don't think you're going to see that with this. Okay, so let's plug in first. Sit this down. Actually, let me pull this out a little because that was tight. Okay, now I have to scan a QR code on the screen, and the QR code came up automatically. So I'm going to scan that now. Okay. And it's asking me which connector. I have connector 5, which is CCS. I'm going to tab that and hit Start Charging. Payment authorizing. Hopefully my credit card's still okay. Okay. Still authorizing. A little bit longer than we like to see, but now I just heard the connectors click in the charger. Connecting to charger. It also says, once charging starts, you're welcome to shop in the store. Well, of course I'm welcome to shop in your store. Okay, so now it seems like we have started. We're charging. The Lightning's charge port's charging, so I am charging. I'm at a pretty high state of charge now. I'm at like 75% state of charge, so I'm not going to pull nearly the amount of power that this HYC 400 could deliver. Since I'm the only one here up to 400 kilowatts, I'm probably going to pull about 120 for a little while before it slows up. I really just wanted to stop here because it just opened up. And also, I'm on my way down to Maryland where I'm going to do an episode of Recharge Rescue. If you follow me here on State of Charge, you may have seen that video series I do where I go to people's homes when they have a charging nightmare. And Brian down in Maryland had a problem, almost had a serious fire in his garage. I don't know if it was faulty equipment or just a faulty installation, but I'm meeting a Q-Merit contractor down there tomorrow morning, and we're going to get Brian charging again. So if you haven't seen that video yet, it might actually come out before this video comes out. It depends on how my editing goes. But keep an eye out for that Recharge Rescue episode. This one's in Maryland, and we're going to get Brian up and charging again. All right, well, my first Walmart charging experience in New Jersey is in the books. Everything went fine. And one thing that I wanted to point out that I forgot to mention when I was at the site was the cost was 39 cents per kilowatt hour, which is actually very reasonable here in New Jersey. So I took a look at the other local DC fast charging sites. I found a Tesla Supercharger site only a couple miles away, and that site has dynamic pricing. It changes during the day, but when I was there, which was around 6 o'clock at night, I would have paid 62 cents per kilowatt hour. And at the Walmart station, I paid 39 cents per kilowatt hour. That's 60% more than what I would have paid, or than what I did pay at Walmart if I had elected to go to the Supercharger station in Freehold, just a couple of miles away. So hopefully that is an indication that Walmart is going to have aggressive pricing on its network. Now, it's not going to have consistent pricing. It will be dynamic based on the area, and that's how most networks do it. There's a few that have set pricing, but most of the networks now have dynamic pricing, and even it changes during the day depending on peak or off-peak hours. So there's no easy way to compare prices because it changes on all the networks all around. But at least in this one instance, it was definitely the best rate that I could have gotten anywhere in the area. So, I mean, Walmart is known as a bargain brand. Hopefully, their electricity rates for DC fast charging will also follow in those steps. And if you are interested in Walmart network information, I will have an exclusive with Walmart in about 5 or 6 weeks. Sometime towards the end of May, I'm actually going to be traveling to one of their locations and having a conversation with Adam Happel, who is their general manager of retail EV charging. I got the opportunity to interview Adam last year. I've been invited now to meet him at one of the sites and do an in-person interview. So look for that in towards the end of May. And if this is your first time here at State of Charge, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming electric vehicle news and reviews. And as always, thanks for watching.